Have you ever had that sinking feeling? That moment of realization you kind of push down because you don't want to face it? It's when it finally hits you that the people you hold closest, they might just be the ones draining the life right out of you. Today, we're going to look at how to spot this and what to do about it using a little bit of ancient Stoic wisdom. Man, this moment of truth is tough, but you know what? It's way more common than you think. Maybe it's a family member or a friend you've known forever, but something's just off. Being around them feels heavy, and your own sense of peace just evaporates the second they walk into the room. And that right there is what this is all about. We're going to walk through some undeniable signs that it might be time to create a little distance. And look, this isn't about acting out of anger or revenge. This is about self-respect. It's about guarding your own mind. Okay, let's dive right in. First up, we're looking at the behaviors that just slowly, quietly chip away at your sense of self-worth. This one is, well, it's subtle, isn't it? It's a quiet kind of harm. It doesn't leave any bruises you can see, but it leaves you questioning everything about yourself. It's this slow erosion of your confidence, happening in all those little comments, the sarcastic tones, and the jokes that always seem to land just a little too hard. So, belittling is tricky because it wears a lot of masks. It shows up as that stinging sarcasm they say you can't take, or those backhanded compliments that don't feel like compliments at all. You share something you're proud of, and they hit you with a, "Oh, that's cute." They might even say they're just keeping you humble, but it never actually helps you grow, does it? It just makes you feel small. And this is where a little wisdom from Marcus Aurelius really helps. Someone who is always trying to shrink you down, that's usually a projection of their own stuff, their own insecurities. Their behavior is a mirror, reflecting them, not a judgment on your worth. Remember that. Okay, this next one is a huge red flag. A boundary isn't just a suggestion, right? It's a line you draw to protect your own sanity, your own peace. And when someone consistently plows right over that line, or even worse, laughs at it, they are showing you exactly how little they respect you. And you can see how this plays out in two totally different ways. A healthy person, someone who actually values you, will hear your boundary and say, "Okay, I get it," because they care about the relationship. But in an unhealthy dynamic, oh, you'll get the classic, "You're being too sensitive," or they'll try to guilt you. Why? Because they care more about their own convenience than your well-being. It's that simple. All right, next up, let's talk about those relationships that feel, well, completely one-sided, where the whole balance is just gone. Oh, you know this person. We all do. Nothing is ever their fault. Ever. Every argument happened because you misunderstood them. Every problem is because you're overreacting. They're absolute artists when it comes to rewriting history, always casting themselves as the innocent victim and leaving you holding all the emotional baggage. And it's a cycle, right? A totally predictable and completely exhausting loop. First, they blame someone or something else. Then, they deflect your feelings about it. Then, they flip it and make you feel guilty for even bringing it up. This isn't just a flaw, it's a tactic. It's a way to protect their ego, and it comes at the direct expense of your sanity. Let's just be crystal clear on this one. When someone refuses to own their part, to own their actions, they are sending you a very loud and clear message. They're telling you that your feelings, your side of the story, your well-being, it just doesn't matter to them. This is the person whose name pops up on your phone, and you instantly know they want something. The relationship only feels warm and friendly when they need your help, your advice, your energy. The second their crisis is over, poof, they're gone. It leaves you feeling like a tool, not a friend. Useful, but never truly valued.
And that's not a real connection, is it? It's a relationship of convenience. The Stoic philosopher Seneca talked about this. He said true friendships are built on mutual support, on virtue, not on what one person can get from the other. If they only show up when it's good for them, they're not a friend, they're a user.
So what's the real cost of all this? Let's talk about the hidden toll, the emotional price you pay for keeping these relationships in your life. You know, this might be one of the most painful signs to recognize. That feeling when you realize someone who's supposed to be in your corner doesn't actually want to see you win. You can feel it. It's in their fake enthusiasm, the backhanded compliments, the way they instantly try to one-up you or poke holes in your success. Your light just makes them feel their own darkness.
If you're constantly editing your thoughts, swallowing your words, and managing your own emotions just to prevent an explosion or a cold shoulder, you are not in a relationship. You're in a psychological minefield, and that feeling in your gut, that's not you being too sensitive, that's fear.
Does that little voice in your head sound familiar? When you have to run every sentence through a filter, you've basically handed over control of your own voice. Healthy relationships don't make you afraid of honesty. They're built on it. Okay, so let's just cut through all the noise for a second. Let's forget all the other signs and just ask the single most important question there is. After you've spent time with this person, how do you feel? Really? Are you drained? Anxious? Confused? Lighter? Heavier? And here is the bottom line. If your shoulders relax the moment they leave, if your mind feels clearer and calmer when you're not around them, that's not a coincidence. That is data. Your body, your intuition is giving you the answer. If not having them around brings you a sense of relief, that relief is evidence, and you have to trust it.
So what does this all boil down to? It really comes down to a choice. A fundamental choice between continuing down a path of erosion or choosing a new path, one that leads to connection and peace.
When you lay it out like this, the choice becomes pretty stark, doesn't it? One path is paved with confusion, guilt, and just pure exhaustion. It makes you smaller. The other path leads to clarity, to growth, to peace. It makes you stronger. And relationships are supposed to strengthen you, not break you down. Stoicism gives us our marching orders right here. Protecting your inner world isn't selfish. It's your most important job. Walking away from people who consistently disrupt your peace isn't mean. It's a mature, necessary act of self-preservation. It's deciding to stop letting them set your value. In the end, this choice is yours and yours alone. You can stay where you are, or you can choose to open the door and walk towards something better. You can choose peace. You have a right to it. You deserve it. So, the only question left is, what will you choose?